Well, obviously it's been a while since a head coach from SMU has addressed the media 1-0 to start the season, so that always feels good. Anytime you can open up the season with a win, and a lot of hard work's gone into that opening week and the preparation, all the summer months, the early mornings, the skills and drills that these guys go through. You prepare for a season, and you have to start somewhere. So we had a great start. Come away 1-0 against an opponent that we had very little film on. You had a lot of unknowns, and so definitely good to see us get started. I thought offensively we started strong, and took the ball down and converted a third down and long to score. With Matt running the football and be able to come around and create a turnover right back the very next series with Darren Malines, his first interception of the year. That was good to see. From a defensive standpoint, we were able to create some turnovers, 3 interceptions. We had 10 in all of last year, and I believe the majority of those 10 came in the first half of the season. So it's been a while since we've had some takeaways, but that was good to see. 3 interceptions right there. A great way to start. Won the turnover margin, which is one of our goals, and 3-1. And so we felt like that if we could come in and win the turnover margin, we have a chance. But a lot of young guys played. 31 of the 47 guys that we have signed over the last couple of years had opportunity to play in that ball game. We knew we were going to be young, and this was going to be another young year for us. We knew that, but it was really good to see some of these guys in that moment and see how they responded. I thought that we had some guys that stepped up. It was really good to see Kamen Freeman, running back, get in late in the second half or mid-second half and get some quality reps. You'll see more of him. And I thought Michael Badajo played extremely well. Again, the moment was not too big for him. We played, of our 14 defensive linemen that we have, we played 12 of them, and fully anticipate playing all 14 this week. But some guys that have stepped up. It was good to see Zelt Minor have a solid game, and really look forward to watching him progress this year. We definitely need him up front. Justin Lawler, 3.5 sacks, most of anybody in the country right now. So that was good to see him. We knew what we were going to get in Justin. He's part of our leadership committee, and to see a guy like that perform at the level he performed at doesn't surprise me. He was our defensive player of the game. And then to watch offensively Matt Davis, and we all know what Cortland Sutton's capable of doing the year he came off of, and it was great to see him pick right back up with where he left off. Both of those guys were offensive players of the game. Excuse me. Braden West was our special teams player of the game, and so 1-0. That was it, and rebound right back and back in here on Sunday on the field and preparing for our next opponent. Our goal today is to have the best practice of anybody in the country, the best meetings, and control what we can control. Obviously going against a very talented Baylor football team that has one of the best home winning records of anybody in the country since 2011. So I believe the record's 30-3. So not too many people go in there and have a lot of success. But we're excited about this opportunity that we have that's in front of us. It's a great gauge at where our program is coming into year 2. We know we're definitely better, and so they're extremely talented. Coach Grove has done a great job keeping the system intact, and to watch them on video and watch them play last Friday night was they picked up right where they left off as well. So we've got our work cut out for us. Seth Russell, obviously one of the most accurate quarterbacks in all of college football, is back, and he's definitely has some weapons around him to throw it to. With KD Cannon, extremely impressive, got elite speed, and then Shock Linwood, a young man that's has got I think he's right around 38, 39 games underneath his belt, so he's very experienced. I guess some offensive linemen up front are extremely experienced, and so they're definitely pose some problems as they do anytime they step on the field from an offensive standpoint. Defensively, obviously Coach Bennett has done a phenomenal job with their defense. They were flying around the ball. I think they gave up 78 yards of total offense last week, which was the lowest of anybody in all of college football. And they've got some guys around them as well that maybe not quite as big as they've been in the past up front, but I think they're quicker. I think he does a great job of moving his front, and got quite a few returning starters. I think we've got 4 or 5 returning starters back, and obviously a bunch of them because of the way their games come out last year. A lot of guys that are playing have game experience. So with that being said, I'm going to open up for questions, but we're excited about this opportunity.
So Matt is day-to-day, I guess. Can you update us on kind of what his status would be?
Yeah, well, Matt will be a game time decision. We'll see probably if he goes any today, it'll be limited. But more or less a game time decision. We'll make that as it gets closer. It's really hard to assess him right now with it. Obviously, we all know Matt. We know what type of competitor he is, and if he's capable of playing, he'll be out there without a doubt. He'll be ready to go, and if he's ready, it'll be hard to keep him out of this ball game.
When you look back at the film, what kinds of things did you see that you didn't notice from the sideline from the North Texas game?
Well, the things that, and I knew though we were going to be quicker. I knew that we were going to swarm to the ball, be more athletic from a defensive standpoint. That was the biggest emphasis that I was hoping to see when I turned the film on, and I didn't want to be disappointed, and I wasn't. Well, again, we're a long way away from being a great football team by no most stretch of the imagination right now, but we're better right now than we were at any point in time since I've been here. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that our guys are running to the ball. We created turnovers. We've got some depth in our defensive line. We're able to spell some guys. I thought our secondary, again, we still had some busts, still had some missed assignments. We got to clean that up. But we got guys breaking on the ball well. I thought Horace Richardson, again, he's a 5th-year guy. You expect this out of him. It's time for him to really respond, and he didn't disappoint. Darren Malines, I thought was probably the most physical player on the field. Was playing extremely confident. It was great to see him. It doesn't surprise me. Again, he's on our leadership committee as well. So a guy like that is ready for the moment. I thought linebacker play, we got to the ball, we tackled well. And again, you kind of felt that on the sidelines at times, but we did. We tackled better. We still missed a few, but we tackled better than we've had in the past. Kevin Johnson is a guy that I really didn't know how he played until I watched the film. I was hoping to see that he played well. Probably the fastest football player we have on our team, and he played really well. I think he played 40-something snaps and did not have a missed assignment, which is really good for a freshman. So we'll expect to see. We're going to see a lot of vertical balls this week. They're going to throw the ball deep. They're going to double move us. They're going to count the box. That's just what they do. It's no secret, and they are very confident in what they do, and have done it and had great success for quite some time. So we'll be tested a lot. They're going to play with unbelievable tempo. So we'll be on some islands out there in space, and going to have to do a really good job of tackling this week. But from an offensive standpoint, what I thought. I thought again we came out with definitely a lot of confidence. I was wishing we could ran the ball a little bit better early on, but we finally got into a groove, and it was good to see Xavier Jones in there. I know Braden West had been dealing with a nagging kind of a back spasm, but he'll be back ready to go full speed. But again, you saw a lot of young guys out on the field playing, and that as a coach, you look at it one of two ways. It excites me because these younger guys that we have are really they're pushing our older players, and our older players are holding our younger guys accountable. And so it's really unique, kind of our team atmosphere right now. We're a very close football team, and it's because of the accountability that our upperclassmen are holding our freshmen and second-year guys, because they know they have to play. And but there was a lot of good things that we did to start the season out. But you know, you hope to see your biggest gains from week 1 to week 2, and that's my biggest emphasis right now. I want to see a better football team Saturday than I saw this past Saturday. That's what I'm after.
With Baylor's offense, they like to run the ball too, obviously. What are the biggest differences between theirs and yours?
Well, I don't know. You know, obviously they've had great success in what they do. I mean, everybody's going to run the power and the inside zone, and they do that. They do a tremendous job. Their guys have an unbelievable confidence in their system. There's always an outlet. So if you sneak the extra hat down into the box, they're going to find you and they're going to attack you. If you play off coverage, they're going to hit you underneath. Even if you play off coverage, they're still going to try to run by you. They've got elite speed out on the edge, and they're going to do what they do. It doesn't matter who they play. And you know, I've been watching these guys for quite some time, and they're just like everybody else in the country. They're going to count the box. If you got the right numbers, they're going to run the ball. If you're not, then they're going to make you pay out on the edge, and you better have some guys that can tackle in space.
With Ben coming in both in the plan series and then after Matt had to go out, what specific areas have you seen him really improve and be more comfortable since the spring break, since he started fall camp?
Well, Ben has great confidence. That's the number one thing you know about Ben. He doesn't lack in confidence. He's played in a great program at Waco Midway High School, and you know, played for just knows how to win. I mean, he's won his whole life. Coach Campbell's done a great job preparing him for the moment, and so you know, watching him, just understand that you know, when you get here as a freshman. In his redshirt year, he had the capability of learning and not being just thrown straight into it. And a lot of freshmen, most of them don't like to be redshirted because they want to play, and they were all stars in high school, and they think they can come right in here and be a star. And sometimes it just doesn't work out that way. There's a reason behind everything, and for him, redshirting, I think it really helped him. It helped him understand and to watch the way the coverages are disguised, defense is disguised so much better at this level than they do at the high school level. So his ability to learn defenses and you know, just his will, his want to. I mean, it really has made him extremely hungry. If you remember during spring ball, we didn't name him starting quarterback and wasn't going to name one through fall camp, and he was right there in the mix and battling hard all spring. And but you know, the thing Ben has, he's got a great arm. He knows where to go with the ball. He's confident in his ability. He does not present the run threat that Matt does, as we all know, but he can make up with it in other areas. So yeah, I've just watched him grow and mature, and it was by design that he got the 4th series the other night because we had to get him some meaningful reps in a game that was close, and so and to watch the way he performed, I thought he did well.
When you look at the film of Baylor's first game, how much do they resemble the team you faced last year, and how much influence of Coach Grove and his background at Wake Forest do you see?
Well, there's not a finer man in all of college football than Jim Grove. We obviously know Coach Grove for our time of playing them when we were at Clemson, and the job that he did at Wake Forest was phenomenal. We had to beat them on a last-second field goal to win the ACC in 2011, and he's very well respected. And the one thing that you respect the most about what he's doing and taking over the situation he's in at Baylor is you don't see much of a difference at all. These guys they're playing extremely confident. From From an offensive standpoint, they look mirror image of what they've been in the past. From a defensive standpoint, you can tell Coach Bennett is still in charge and running full throttle of what he does and how he does things. And I think one of the things that Coach Bennett does and does such a great job of, he adapts to what he has. And what we've seen out of just game one is he may not quite have the depth that they've had in the past or the size up front that they've had in the past. And so he's compensating that. He's moving his front a lot. He's giving you some different looks. Disguises some of his pressure packages, but that's just what you do as a coach, you know, and that's kind of the way that's what's made him successful. And so we expect a lot of similarities to what we've seen last year, but you know, they're doing a few things different defensively, but I think it's mainly to help cover up some of the things that be able to move the front, just kind of cover up some of their maybe not quite the size that they've had in the past in the middle, but that is, you know, a lot of times that causes you more problems than you do have big size.
You guys ran almost a little over 70 plays, if I remember correctly, on Saturday. You've been talking a lot about wanting to play faster. Is that about where you wanted to be as far as total plays?
No, we want to play faster than what we played. I think there toward the end of the game we were slowing it down a little bit, but we want to play faster. I felt like we could have played faster in some areas. We got to eliminate some of the penalties that we had. That was, especially after a big play, then we go backwards off of and have to convert a 3rd and long, which there's not too many of those calls on your play sheet. And so we got to eliminate those things. Those mistakes will get you beat. They'll get you beat, and so we've got to be better in that regard. We got to continue to play fast, push the needle even more. So I think you'll start to see that more and more and more as the year goes.
How did Matt perform decision-making wise and stuff like that?
Yeah, I thought Matt did a really good job. I think there at times I think there was 2 or 3 opportunities that we had some receivers open and he pulled the ball down and ran. But you know, that's Matt, and Matt throwing for 155 yards, rushing for close to another right at 100. You know, Matt's you ask a guy like that you want him to be himself. And sure, there was times we wish he would have stayed in the pocket a little bit and hit his check down, but when he did pull the ball down, he was able to convert and make some big plays for us. He's got great feet, extremely fast, but that's what makes him so successful. And I thought he played well. I know that he wished he'd had a couple passes back, but overall he did a great job of leading our football team.
Noticed both Josh Williams and Michael Armstrong both take some attempted field goals. Was that by design for you?
Well, you know, Josh was for whatever reason was cramping up. I don't know if he just got excited in pregame and was over warmed up or what, but he got some cramps late in I guess the second half, and but it was great to get Michael Armstrong in to get him some reps in game situation. But I was pleased with the touchbacks. I think Josh had 3 and Michael had 1. So those things definitely help you out, and we'll pay dividends. You know, we have played a lot of guys. I anticipate playing a lot of guys again this week. You know, you want to build the depth of your football team, and you use these non-conference games to try to help do that. So when you do get into conference play, that you've got some depth and to rely on, because you know, the season's a grind, and you've got to have depth. It helps the morale of your football team that these guys are playing if they've put in the work to play, and our guys are doing that. So you'll continue to see more and more guys play.
You mentioned Matt. Are there any other injuries out of the first game that you can update?
No, Xavier Jones. We anticipate Xavier Jones being back as well. He's dealing with some hamstring issues. Our cramp, actually, there's a cramp in his hamstring, and so we fully anticipate him being back. Or it's all indications he's going to be back. I think that's it. I don't know if there's anybody else that we've got that we're not anticipate playing. So, anyone else?
I wanted to ask you something about quarterbacks and recruiting them. Has that changed over the years? All the makes a transfer? Does that change how you guys
No, you know,
look at them?
the ideal number is to have 5 on scholarship. That's where you really want to be at 5. So if you get into a situation that you lose a guy, you've definitely got some depth there. So that it really doesn't change. You kind of anticipate when you do bring guys in, you may lose one. That's kind of part of it. They all want to play, and we get that. But you've got to have 5 guys. That's your target goal. 4 to 5 guys on scholarship. Otherwise, you're really setting yourself up what could be a tough run. So. But no, as far as recruiting wise, you don't go into it thinking, you really kind of go into it going, okay, this guy, if you bring 2 in 1 year, okay, and if they're at the same age, one may wind up leaving before it's over with. You understand that going in.
Do you like to keep following guys and keep in touch with them after they go to other places?
Well, you can't. You can't do that. You can't once they sign, you're done with them. Yeah, you obviously follow guys that you've recruited and you watch their success, and in the event that they do want to transfer, then you've got some prior relationships from recruiting that could work back in your favor, but you just never know. You never know.
You said on your radio show that Tony Richards has moved back to tackle. Is he equally comfortable on the left and right side, and what would you need to see from him before you feel comfortable putting him on the field?
Well, Tony's had a really good summer and off season, and we anticipated Tony really helping us out at tight end, but when we lost Chad Pursley, and we hadn't quite got Keaton Bates back from his injury from winter conditioning, he's really kind of left us. That's an area of this football team that really concerns me, is the depth in our offensive line. Well, you don't want to play a true freshman there because they're really not ready just yet. That's the hardest position to play as a true freshman. So being able to move Tony back, he's been working on that side of the ball for the last couple of weeks, and so we'll see. He's going to get a lot of reps this week in practice, and even though we're healthy offensive line, one of the guys we've got to make sure that Tony's ready to go. He was recruited here as an offensive lineman, and so we're going to make that move back. We did not have tight ends last year, so we had to move him over, and he's kind of been caught in the middle. And so we'll see. We moved him back to offensive tackle. He's going to get a lot of reps this week in the event that we need him to get in there. So we'll see. I think Tony's a guy that probably more comfortable on the right side than the left. And so if you did have some injuries, you just kind of like moving jigsaw puzzle. You take one puzzle piece here and put it on the left side, and put him in the right. It's just you kind of make it do. But so he has made his move back to tackle, and that's where he'll stay. We won't move him back.
You also said a week ago, you mentioned Keaton Bates. You were hoping to have him back in about a week. How close is he?
Well, he actually practiced last week, and he's not there yet. He'll try to go again a little bit this week. He'll practice today and see how he feels, but I think we're still probably another week out. I'm hoping to get him back pretty quick. He definitely will help us out with some depth in the offensive line.
Anything else, Freeman?
Yeah.
You talked about him. He seems like a strong running back.
Yeah. He definitely, the moment wasn't too big for him, Coach Craddock recruited him out of Liberty Ilu, and again played for Coach Wells up there, and an incredible program that he played in. Guy knows how to win. I mean, as you look at these guys that we've signed over the last 2 years, the 25 this past year, and that was my message to a lot of our guys in our warm-ups. I'm getting ready to warm up against North Texas, and I usually go by and shake most of them's hand. And when I would come to those freshmen, an Eric Sutton that played at Cedar Hill, and I said, hey man, we're bringing you here not only because you're a great player, because you know how to win, and it's no different. This is why you're here. And so Kamon's no different. Again, played quarterback. He's won his whole life. And It did not surprise me after watching him during camp. He was a very pleasant surprise during camp. Strong, he's got incredible balance, and he might be one of the most intelligent football players that we got on our football team right now. Extremely intelligent, and it was great to see him. He's going to get more and more reps. It was good to see him provide some depth in that offensive line, but his first couple runs, you definitely like, well, okay, now wait a minute, this is just a freshman. So we'll see how the moment continues to grow for him, but excited about him and his future.